Welcome back to another video. Sorry for the abrupt beginning. The beginning got corrupted of the video. So we're going to jump right into this team here featuring the core of Cresselia and the Palossand here. We did start with the Shadow Ninetales here. And they switched into their Azumarill when they had this Guzzler in the front. So obviously we switched into our Cresselia versus their Azumarill. And then now they show that they have the Skarmory in the back here. This Skarmory is going to be able to catch the Moonblast, which is good for them. And interesting of note, this is running the Steel Wing. So I believe Steel Wing got a little bit of a buff this upcoming move update. So interesting to see Skarmory in this scenario. Usually it would be running the Sky attacks with the flying move and flying fast move of I believe air attack or something. Sorry, I forgot. I haven't used Skarmory in a while. But our opponent ends up letting it go, and we are able to win that situation right there. So the Steel Wing of Skarmory paired with that Druddigon made a lot of sense. Our opponent ended up having the Druddigon Skarmory Azumarill team, just in case you missed out on that. So here we go again, and it looks like our opponent is having the Talonflame. The Talonflame here is really good against our Shadow Ninetales here, but we're going to try to get them to use a shield. I think this is the best case scenario. We have this Talonflame, and basically we're just trying to get the shield and then allow our Cresselia to potentially farm down. We are expecting some kind of water type in the back. Looks like our opponent is going to be able to get some multiple flame charges here. So luckily enough, we are able to farm it down, and we come out with a bunch of energy. Looks like our opponent ends up having the Cresselia here. This Cresselia here is going to be able to do some big damage against our Palossand, but they do have another counter to our Palossand here with the Quagsire. This Quagsire is going to be able to do some good damage, whether it has Aqua Tail, whether it has Earthquake, or whether it has Mud Bombs, which it does. Luckily, the Mud Bombs are only neutral, and luckily they are not carrying the Aqua Tail, which would do way more damage. So we're going to exit that situation with a little bit of energy, but our opponent already has a move on their Cresselia. Ends up being the Rock Slide, so not the right shield right there, but we needed a shield here anyways because we need to get to a move and get this last shield. We are trying to get the debuff, no debuff, trying to get to a move. Our opponent ends up throwing another move on our Cresselia. This Cresselia tanks the move, but we are not even able to get to another move right there. So GG's to our opponent right there. Unfortunate for us that the Talonflame was able to wreck our team. So Cresselia again, interesting. Cresselia is going to switch out into the Skeledrid. This Skeledrid is going to have to be met with our Palossand here. We're going to shield here because it potentially could be the Shadow Ball. Ends up being the Shadow Ball, which is the right shield right there. We're going to go for this Scorching Sand right here, looking for the debuff. We do get the debuff, which is great. Here, we decided to double shield because we want to exit this situation with potential energy if they don't shield here. But our opponent ends up double shielding, and we are not able to get to the last Scorching Sand right there. And now we are in big trouble because we are basically double weak to the Skeledrid. We don't want to go in with our Ninetales because it would just be able to do a lot of fast move damage. So we're going to go into our Cresselia and hope for the best. We do get to this Grass Knot to take out that Skeledrid. And they, of course, have the Shadow Marowak in the back. So this is the double fire team in the back, paired with some kind of grass type. So this is all but GG's because we are not going to be able to take out this Shadow Marowak in the back. Ends up being the Fire Blast anyway, so tough situation right there. All right, so we're going to change up the team here. We're going to use the Dragonair just to change it up a little bit. We were a little bit too weak to the Fire Ghost. So we're going to throw in the Dragonair here. we get swapped into the Ninetales. This Ninetales here is going to be met with our Cresselia. We decided to shield here just to preserve the health, but now that they reveal they have the Side Shock, this is going to be an easier situation for us as we don't have to shield anything at this point now. Our opponent ends up having to throw these debuffed Weather Balls, and essentially we're going to try to farm as much energy before they get to another move. So we're going to throw this Grass Knot right here for a potential KO. Ends up being the KO. Great. And then their Toxicroak right here is going to have to shield or risk getting KO'd. We do have the Moon Blast, forcing some energy from this Toxicroak right here. So we're going to let this go. Ends up being the Mud Bomb, and then we're going to come back in with our Dragonair, which already has a move. We're going to throw this Body Slam here, potentially get the last shield. Don't get the last shield, but our opponent ends up having the Lantern in the back. This Lantern in the back is going to be facing a really difficult situation because we have two counters. Not only with this Dragonite with the shield, but also our Palossand. So we're going to apply the pressure, go for another Body Slam here. We do get the last shield. Ends up being the CAP tie. They go for the Surf. It takes us out. I'm going to come back in with their Palossand here. Allow the first one to go through. Because they're running the Spark Fast move, we're going to be able to be just fine here. Allow the first one to go through just in case they, I don't know, have some kind of crazy situation. And then we're able to go for this Scorching Sand for the KO right there. So GG's to our opponent right there. For the last match here, we are going to change up the team again, just to play with the team comp a little bit. We are going to see what else we can pair this Palossand with, and we decided to go for another dragon with the Haxorus. Haxorus, a little bit a different situation, knowing counter as the fast move. All right, so we do have the better situation for our charge moves in this situation, but not for our fast moves. We don't want to see this Trevenant in the back for either of our Pokemon, so this is a great situation for this Haxorus. Kind of a good move that we actually switched from Dragonair to the Haxorus, because not only was the Dragonair only going to be able to do fast move pressure, but both of my charge moves from that Dragonair would have been resisted. So we're going to switch in, and then they decide to let it go. Here we are met with a Shadow Gardevoir. This is going to be a tough situation. Obviously, we're trying to get the first shield here. That was a good no shield right there because we only have one, and plus it ended up being a triple axle, kind of a bait move. It does have the ability to increase your attacks, but we have to save the shield for this Palossand right here. Ends up going for the Scorching Sand, and we are able to take out that Shadow Gardevoir. And then here, we're going to allow them to throw a move. We're going to shield here no matter what. Ends up being the Cross Chop Bait. And then luckily, we are able to get to this Shadow Ball right here. It should KO because of the Shadow. And boom! GG's to our opponent right there. So check out this team if you haven't already. And let us know if you enjoyed the video.